It's time. Gentlemen and female gentlemen, I got so many people excited for the lore for Sanguinius, one of the great angel, right? One of the coolest Primarchs from what I've seen so far, and I'm really excited to see the Sanguinius lore. And a lot of people told me I need to see he has like some speech. So we are going to be doing a Sanguinius speech as a separate video. But for now, let's see the lore for Sanguinius, the great angel, one of the Primarchs of the Emperor of the Imperium of Man.
It is not the descent toward the shadow, nor the rise toward the light that makes us superior. It is the endless struggle between the two that greatness of character lies. We are tested, and we do not break. We will never fall.
Well, I hope not. That would be sad.
The loyalist Primarchs of his Imperium are beloved by all, paragons of the potential of humanity. Each Primarch embodies a fragment of the Emperor's might. Though of all the Primarchs, a select few are regarded, even by their brothers, with respect, or even adoration.
True.
Yet there is one Primarch who was beloved by all his brothers, with only a trifle of exceptions. The noble son of the Emperor, who most embodied not only his power, but his very being. Sanguinius, Primarch of the 9th Legion of the Adeptus Astartes.
Dude, I didn't know that everyone loved him. I didn't know that everyone loved Sanguinius like that. Like, I knew Sanguinius was, like, relatively Dude, it's so sad. Because, epic spoilers, I know he dies at the end of the Horus Heresy. So that's horrible.
During the scattering of the Primarchs, Sanguinius would land on the radiation-soaked moon of Baal Secundus. Ooh. Discovered by the tribal people inhabiting the moon's surface, they would adopt the infant Primarch into the people of the pure blood.
Well, yes, that's why he took the name Sanguinius. Sanguine is blood.
3 weeks of his arrival, he had grown to the size of a large child, capable of walking and learning speech.
That's my goat.
By the year's end, he towered over the people of the blood. Uniquely amongst
Horus himself said that the Emperor should have chosen Sanguinius as War Master. Ain't no way. That is badass.
The Primarchs, Sanguinius bore 2 angelic wings that sprouted from his back.
Wait, the wings are actually part of him? I thought that was like part of the armor. I didn't realize the wings were actually growing out of his back.
Of which is
Sanguinius was one of the Primarchs who truly loved his sons and the men under him, to the point that he knew the names of every person that served and fought with him. Sanguinius was ready to sacrifice himself and his soul to cure his sons of their affliction. Damn. Dude sounds like just like the goat. Gone too soon.
Certain. Some claim them to be a gift bestowed by the Emperor, whilst the more cynical people of his Imperium would claim them to be the result of a mutation born from the radiation endured by his time on Baal Secundus.
Boo.
Though of all his abilities, it would become apparent that the Primarch had the gift to divine the future.
Oh shit.
Using his visions, immense psychic
that's
power.
Right. Him and Conrad Kurz, they both see the future. They're the two with like the divination shit.
And martial prowess, Sanguinius would lead the people of the blood to defeat vast hordes of mutants which threatened their lives. With their defeat, the
Get
people
rid of those filthy mutants
of the blood would worship Sanguinius as a god, which would endure until the arrival of the Emperor.
Yep.
Disguising himself, the Emperor would witness Sanguinius give an impassioned speech to his people. Yet with Sanguinius' ability to divine the future, he would instantly recognize the Emperor.
Oh shit.
The great angel would fall to his knees and pledge his allegiance to his
That's pretty badass. Dude comes in disguise, Sanguinius knows.
Father. Inducting the greatest warriors of the people of the blood, the Emperor would integrate them into the pre-existing 9th Legion of Adeptus Astartes.
He knew the end and the rebirth? Wait, actually? Is that like a theory, or is that real? That's crazy.
Soon to be monikered, the Blood Angels. Sanguinius would become highly regarded by all the legions of the Adeptus Astartes, even gaining the greatest respect from his brother Primarch, Horus, whom would confide in the angel for advice.
Bro!
More than
Dude, Horus became his bestie, and he didn't fall to chaos. Damn.
Any Primarchs, Sanguinius and Horus would form a bond of trust and adoration. The great angel
that doesn't age very well, does it?
Would even convince Horus to change the name of his legion from Lunar Wolves to the Sons of Horus after being given his new title of War Master.
Damn.
With Horus even concealing his knowledge of the flaw within the Blood Angel's gene seed from the Emperor, making these events all the more tragic, considering the way in which the future would unfold.
Wait, so there was a flaw in Sanguinius' gene seed? That's why he grew the wings? Because all of like the people that had the Sanguinius gene seed had some sort of mutation?
Horus would fall to the forces of chaos and begin his campaign with the keen awareness that Sanguinius was arguably his most deadly foe. Before his treachery,
Sanguinius was the only one to ask the Emperor, "What if I don't join you?" and made the Emperor promise not to change his people's beliefs. Oh my god, dude! His gene seed had the vampire defect. Bro, this guy seems amazing.
Had been revealed.
Maybe we'll do a longer lore dive into this guy at some point.
To the Imperium, Horus would command Sanguinius to fight the Xenos Nephilim species on the planet of Cygnus Prime. The Blood Angels would be ambushed by hordes of demons within the Cygnus system and become stranded. During a fierce battle against the greater demon of Khorne, Ka'Bandha, both of Sanguinius' legs would be broken.
Bro.
The Great Angel would be comatose due to a psychic backlash caused by the activation of the Rage Fire.
Wait, so he actually did beat a greater demon of Khorne in single combat?
A device constructed by Fabius Bile of the Emperor's children and employed by Erebus of the Word Bearers.
Yikes, that's scary.
The device would cause the
I got a lot of people told me to look into Fabius Bile, to do like a special Fabius Bile lore dive.
Seed curse of the Blood Angels, the Black Rage, to erupt. With their Primarch unconscious, the Blood Angels would tear each other limb from limb.
Oh my god!
With the intervention of the Ninth Legion's librarians, Sanguinius would be restored. Battling the Greater Demon in a second duel, Sanguinius would slay Ka'Bandha and banish it into the Warp.
Based.
With the demon's leader banished, Sanguinius led his forces into the Chaos Fortress on...
So while Sanguinius, let's just understand this. I have a few questions here. All right, so first of all, so Sanguinius, first and foremost, Sanguinius, when he's in a coma, his soldiers go crazy because of the contorted gene seed. That's one. Two, I thought demons didn't show up until later. Like, I thought that it was only after the Horus Heresy that people, or while the Horus Heresy was going on, that people acknowledged that there were demons and chaos gods. So I guess they thought that a actual demon of Khorne was just some crazy strong Xenos guy.
Cygnus, known as the Cathedral of the Mark. Therein, Kyrus the Perverse, Keeper of Secrets and Demon of Slanesh, would offer to cure the Blood Angel.
Oh my god, dude. I'm like actually piecing it together as we're going through the lore here. That's why the Blood Angels went crazy after Sanguinius died. Because Sanguinius was single-handedly controlling their warped, mutated gene seed while he was alive. So after he dies, they all went mad because he was no longer there to keep the vampire mutation in check. That's so sad, man.
Kyrus the Perverse, Keeper of Secrets and Demon of Slanesh, would offer to cure the Blood Angels of their curse, should Sanguinius sacrifice himself unto the Rage Fire.
Damn.
Sanguinius decided to accept the bargain, but before his pact would become binding, Blood Angel Apothecary Meros would sacrifice himself before his Primarch could act, transforming him into the Red Angel. Enraged, Sanguinius would slay Kyrus and swear vengeance upon Horus for the loss of his noble son.
Oh my god. So they tried to prank and punk him into becoming a demon of Slanesh. And they taunted him with saying that he would be able to save his legion. And he was gonna do it. He was gonna sacrifice himself to save his legion, not knowing that he would become a demon. Wow, betrayed by Horus. And he was really gonna sacrifice himself for his people. That's really rare for a Primarch. That's crazy.
Reeling from the catastrophic events of Cygnus, Sanguinius would set course for Terra. His journey altered by a Ruinstorm, orchestrated by Erebus, would make communication and travel throughout the Imperium near impossible. His legion would arrive on the Ultramarines' homeworld of Macragge and meet with Primarch Rebute Guilliman. Fearing Holy Terror to be lost, reluctantly Sanguinius would accept the title of the new Emperor Regent of the newly founded Imperium Secundus, with the support of Lionel Johnson and Guilliman.
Yeah, we covered that.
Plagued by prophetic visions.
Yeah, we covered that with Conrad Kurz's video.
Of his death at the hands of Horus, the Great Angel would be confronted by the stowaway Primarch Conrad Kurz.
Wait, so he did see prophecy that Horus would kill him. Oh my god.
Confirming his own visions of the angel's death, Kurz would inquire as to why Sanguinius still remained loyal to the Emperor, with the knowledge that it would lead to his demise.
So Sanguinius fought on behalf of the Emperor, knowing that that would be what kills him. That's crazy.
Sanguinius urged his brother that it was not too late for him to return to the Emperor's grace. Kurz would state that chaos was all there would be, not just for himself, but every man, woman and child in the coming future. setting off an explosive to mask his escape.
Sanguinius represented the hope of the Emperor. He hoped the future could change. Oh, God, dude. This dude's like the actual GOAT. That's crazy.
He would eventually be recaptured by the Lion. Sanguinius would preside over Kurz' trial and would eventually determine to end his life. The Lion would demand to instead become his jailer. Kurz believed his death would come at the hands of an assassin sent by the Emperor, which the Lion deduced meant that their father still lived. The Primarchs would pool their resources and attempt to breach the Ruinstorm. Sanguinius would suffer the beginning stages of the Black Rage, fueled by the visions of his own death. A preternatural vision would lead Sanguinius to travel to the planet of Davin, the world in which Horus began his path of corruption to the forces of chaos. The Primarchs would find evidence of a mass drop pod assault on the planet's surface. Sanguinius, Guilliman, the Lion and their prisoner Conrad Kurz would discover a ruin, the Temple of the Serpent's Lodge. Inside, they would find the altar wherein the fell ritual had been conducted by Erebus on the War Master.
What an asshole.
Their presence would trigger warp storms to bellow forth and create a portal, dragging Sanguinius away from the temple. He would see himself on the surface of Terra in a vast beautiful garden within the Imperial Palace.
Nice.
With his brother Lorgar's corpse at his feet, he would observe the remaining traitor Primarchs bound in chains. His father, the Emperor, congratulating him on his victory and bestowing the title of the Emperor's Regent to his son.
Pretty sure this doesn't happen though, so what's he seeing?
He would lead a campaign to purge the galaxy of the remaining traitors to his Imperium, and eventually become the ruler of the galaxy. Sanguinius would see through the deception of the vision and cut through the visage of the Emperor, revealing it.
This was literally just a manipulation. This was a demon. This wasn't actually a vision.
To be the demon known as Medael. Sanguinius and Medael.
Is that another Khorne demon? Wait, so Khorne was directly sending demons after this guy to try to turn him take him to chaos. Dude, Khorne directly paid attention to this guy.
Would duel, Medael unleashing lesser demon hordes through the portal, preventing the Lion and Guilliman from breaking through to aid their brother. Overpowering the angel, Medael would bargain with Sanguinius. Deeming Horus to be an unworthy vessel of chaos, he would offer to aid Sanguinius in killing his brother and taking the mantle of War Master for himself. Added to the bargain, Medael would cure the Blood Angels of their curse. Refusing, the Great Angel would impale the greater demon with his weapons, the Blade in Carmine and Spear of Telesto. With the demons banished.
It's kind of crazy to think that Angron was literally Khorne's second pick. Like, that's kind of insane. So Khorne was literally gunning for Sanguinius the entire time, and he was promising him all sorts of shit. I'll let you kill Horus if you join me. Bro!
The temple collapsed, and Davin would crumble. In its place, a breach in the warp storm.
I really like this contrast between Sanguinius and Conrad Kurz. Right? Conrad Kurz was all about, you know, like they both see the future. They both see the way they're gonna die. But Sanguinius had hope and faith. And Conrad Kurz was just a being of pure wanton death and destruction and nihilism. It's so interesting to see how just a basic core tenet, faith versus nihilism or hope versus despair, completely changed someone's life. Sanguinius is remembered forever as an unbelievable hero.
Would appear, leading directly to Holy Terror. The Alpha Legion would blockade the breach, with Guilliman and the Lion distracting the 20th Legion, allowing the Great Angel to pass through. Taking Kurz as his prisoner, Sanguinius ventured through the breach. Once through, Sanguinius revealed that he would release Conrad Kurz, sealing him within a stasis coffin and jettisoning the Primarch into space. Knowing it might be millennia until his brother would be found, Sanguinius would tell him that fate would catch up with him eventually. Perhaps the Night Haunter's vision of the death at the hands of the assassin may well come true. Arriving on Terra, Sanguinius would meet with Rogel Dawn, Jagatai Khan, and Malkator the Sigillite. The assembled defenders of Holy Terror would strategize on how to combat the oncoming forces of chaos.
Epic.
The Great Angel's arrival would also be used as a symbol for the Imperium to rally behind.
Damn.
His deific visage boosting the morale of the soon-to-be-tested defenders of the throne. His visions would show him the events of the battles from the perspective of his traitorous brother Primarchs. As the months of war waged on, Sanguinius believed that the defenses would soon falter, and that he must confront his destiny in battling Horus directly.
Even though he knew he was gonna die. Dude, this is so sad. This is like really tragic, man. Like, he knew this was the only chance for the Imperium, but he knew he had no chance to make it out alive.
Leading the final defense of the Imperial Palace, Sanguinius would battle the reborn Greater Demon of Kabanda, banishing it once more. Injured from this battle,
Bro beat the same Greater Demon 3 times. 3 times! Dude, Korn fucking hated this guy.
Weary from his vigil, Sanguinius would then board the vengeful spirit at the side of his father and Rogel Dawn. Separated from the Emperor, Sanguinius would face Horus Lupercal alone. Attempting to redeem his brother, the angel would remind Horus of their past friendship, but Horus would refuse to listen. The two would battle, with Sanguinius landing only a glancing strike on Horus, creating a dent within his mass of ceramide armor. This battle would enmesh itself within the Imperium's history as its darkest hour.
Yeah,
the War Master would wound.
Probably the biggest tragedy. Well, aside from, I guess, the Emperor getting whacked and getting bound to the throne, this is probably the most tragic moment in 40k history.
Sanguinius with the blades of the Talon of Horus, and end his life with a psychic barrage, ensuring the angel's death.
I'll be real, this image is like painted into my head. I don't know. I know that I'm doing this like as lore dives, but this is crazy. So much manipulation and backstabbing, dude, for real. And they tried everything. They tried everything to get Sanguinius on their side. And Sanguinius literally sacrificed his life knowing he had no chance of surviving. He still fought for hope and for the Imperium of man.
Would be the most painful and malicious ending that his benefactors of chaos could administer. With the intervention of the Emperor, Horus and his rebellion would be destroyed. The great angel's body would be taken back to Holy Terror by Rogel Dawn, and with the heresy over, Sanguinius would be laid to rest within a resplendent golden sarcophagus, later interred on his homeworld of Baal.
Crazy.
And so it was that they fought. The angel and the beast.
Damn, bro.
Titanic must have been that struggle between those two gods amongst men. Long must they have rained blows upon one another, until it seemed that the life of the universe itself hung in the balance. Yet, Sanguinius was bested. Even as the blade of death waited to strike him, Sanguinius would not turn from the path of light. Thus, it was that Sanguinius passed from this world. He who was everything a man should be was taken from us by the darkness. 1,000 times 1,000 years of lamenting will never atone for our loss. When the armor of your faith is buckled and torn, see in your mind that magnificent hero. Think upon his deeds and be humble, for his like will never walk the galaxy again.
Bro, dude, I feel that loss. I feel the loss. Like, here's the thing. I knew he dies forever because, you know, it's such a pivotal moment in the entire history of the franchise. But damn, they really took out the best of him, huh? That's crazy. Anyway, that's the Sanguinius lore dive. I'm probably going to do a deeper dive into this, and I also want to do a speech in a separate video. But I'm really glad we're doing this, because I'm going to consume all lore on the channel. So yeah, no, Sanguinius is goated. Like, actually goated. Thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, fam!